So guys, the LG X Venture is a rugged phone, perfect for the outdoors, just like this. What does rugged mean, however? Let me show you right now. It's water resistant. It's actually dust resistant as well. And it is drop resistant. Oh my gosh. This is ridiculous. Look at my shirt. Hopefully you enjoyed that little demonstration. Be sure to give me a thumbs up if you did, but let's continue with the rest of the review. Okay guys, so now that you got to see what a rugged phone is, what it means to be water resistant, dust resistant, and drop resistant, now you kind of know what the LG X Venture is about, who it's for. The big thing about the LG X Venture is the price. This is a mid-range rugged phone. There's not too many of those. Every year, year after year, the Galaxy line comes out, the S7, the S8, the S6, and then they release the Active line. So the first phone I actually reviewed was the Galaxy S6 Active. What makes it so great is that it takes the Galaxy S6, ruggedizes it, keeps all the same specs, but the bad thing is that it also keeps the price. So for a phone that you're gonna just be tossing around, you're spending $700 to $800 on it. Where the hell did it go? The LG X Venture, on the other hand, is a mid-range phone with a mid-range price. If you wanna buy it outright, it's only $330. If you wanna finance it with AT&T, it's only $11 a month. So if you're the type of person that doesn't want the latest and greatest, this is definitely the way to go. But don't get me wrong, the LG X Venture is definitely a capable smartphone. It's rocking Android 7.0 Nougat. Where it kind of slacks off is the CPU department. It has a Snapdragon 435, I believe. It only has 2 gigs of RAM. It's enough for me, but if you're one that multitasks and goes back and forth with your apps, you may notice a little bit of lag as programs get taken out of memory and put into memory. Not a big deal. If you're like a rugged type of person that takes your phone outside, chances are, you don't really have time to do all that multitasking. Camera, Facebook, email, text, calling, all works great on this, super snappy. Obviously games will work too, but just know that the loading times will be a little bit slower. Also, thankfully gone is budget phones having very small amounts of storage. I remember in the past, budget phones would have like 8 gigs, 16 gigs, stuff like that. The LG X Venture comes standard at 32, which isn't very bad at all considering the Galaxy S7. Pretty sure that came at 32 gigs as well. You can also expand the storage. You pop out the SIM card slot. It has a spot for your SIM card and your micro SD card. So props to LG for doing that as well. And you wouldn't expect it for it being a rugged phone, but the LG X Venture also has a fingerprint reader. It works perfectly fine for me. I'm not used to it because I don't really associate this type of phone having a fingerprint reader, but it does. Once again, awesome that it's on a budget phone and a rugged phone at the same time. If you're coming from the Samsung Active line, just keep in mind that the buttons on the bottom are switched. For LG and most Android phones, the back button is on the left. For all the Samsung phones, the back button's been on the right for years and years and years. So just keep that in mind, something that you're gonna have to get used to. And also similar to the Active line, the X Venture has a quick button. So this orange button right here, you can tap it, you can double tap it, you can tap and hold, and you can customize different programs, apps, stuff like that. So it makes it pretty convenient. Very similar to the Bixby button on the Galaxy S8, except it's actually useful because you can customize it. So what I have mine to do, I tap it once, it pulls up the camera. I tap it twice, it pulls up the time lapse, and I tap and hold, and it actually activates glove mode, which is a pretty cool feature with the LG X Venture. Being a rugged phone, they kind of expect you to have gloves on. So if you're ever wearing gloves, you can activate glove mode and then use your phone with gloves on, and the screen should recognize your touches, no problem. And speaking of the camera, and it may just be me in my old age, but for the life of me, I can't figure out like any settings in it. Like it's very basic. You pull up the camera, there's not too many modes, there's not too many options. For some people, you may like it. For others, it may be a deal breaker. But fortunately with Android, you can customize your phone to no other. So you can even download different camera apps. So what I did, I enjoy taking time lapses. And with LG X Venture, it's rugged, so you can put your phone outside. I did like a full day time lapse. No lie, I had my phone on a time lapse mode for 7 hours. The battery lasted the whole time, and I got a really cool time lapse that you see playing right now. I was really happy with it. So just remember, don't define your smartphone purchase on like the camera or any type of individual app, because chances are you can probably change it. Mostly it's the hardware and the operating system itself you'd want to fall in love with. Anything else can be changed. And it's a mid-range phone, so don't expect the best of the best camera quality. But as you just saw from my time lapse, I mean, it's a pretty good phone. It's capable of pretty good image quality. These days, as long as your phone is outside in good light, even if it's a budget phone, you're gonna get pretty good pictures, definitely worthy of Facebook or sharing with your mom. And just the build quality and the design of this phone, it kind of looks a little cheap on camera, but I really enjoy it. It has that rubberized back texture. If you're familiar with the LG V10, it's pretty much just like that. And then it has the metal rails on the side that just kind of make the device even more rugged. I'm sure it adds to the drop resistance. I don't want to test this out because this is a review device, but if you were to drop this like on concrete, on tile, chances are this phone is definitely going to do a lot better than something like a Galaxy S8, because this is plastic on the back, got these really rugged sides, and also the bezels are pretty big, so the advantage of that is that you have a smaller chance of it getting destroyed. And I'm not sure if you can see this, but after doing that test with the flour and cleaning the phone pretty well, you can kind of see like the crack around the glass of the screen. Stuff got kind of caught in there. Now I'm trying to get it out the best I can. I'm soaking the phone in water and then using like a business card to get it out. But I bet you that that's going to be like a long-term issue with this phone. If you keep it in your pocket or if it gets too dirty, you're going to have stuff build up in that little crack that's around the whole screen. Because unlike the flagship devices, this phone just has a flat display. There's no curved display. There's no like 2.5D display where the display gently goes over the sides. I almost forgot to comment on the battery life. That's one of the top features of this phone. So this phone has a 4100 milliamp hour battery life, one of the highest on the market right now. Typically active line phones, just like the Galaxy S7 Active, for example, has a bigger battery. That's actually a big benefit of these budget phones. You have a big battery, you have a 1080p display, it's not really power hungry. You have an older, less power hungry processor. So it's actually a really good combination if you're not like a power user. And that's it, guys. If you enjoyed this video, and for me getting dusted, give this video a big thumbs up. And if you enjoy tech videos, subscribe to my channel. I make new tech videos all the time. I really appreciate everyone's support. We're getting close to 35,000 subscribers, so I can't wait to see what the future holds for us. Have a great day, guys. Bye.